Welcome to my first episode of being a solo YouTuber. Don't know how this is going to work, don't know how I'm going to navigate it, but we're going with the flow on it. So, for those of you who don't know, I am Ellie. I'm a heartbreak and dating coach. I work with mainly men at the moment, but I work with people who are suffering from the pain of past relationships to the point of rebuilding their self-worth and getting them to a place of feeling secure before they go out there in the dating world. And then I also help people that are struggling in the dating world to understand where it's all going wrong for them and to get them in places where they can actually find and attract a healthy relationship. Doing this for the last 7 years, and I absolutely love it. But I feel like I need to be, there's only so much content you can give out in terms of like 60 to 90-second Instagram reels. So I just want to be here to help more people and have a bigger audience with longer form content to actually get you to where you need to be. So my first topic is going to be top 3 things that men need to stop doing during their heartbreak. And so working with hundreds of men now, I see the same patterns time and time and time again. And the first thing is stop trying to avoid your emotions. It's heavy what you're going through. And for you to have loved deeply, it means it's going to hurt even more than I'm going to say it than when a woman goes for a heartbreak, okay? Because you're a lot more emotionally detached from in a way that women aren't. And so for you to fall for someone truly and to be vulnerable with them means that you have opened yourself up to them, which means this is going to hurt you. So you can try to avoid it, you can try to suppress it, or you can try to think, God, there's something absolutely wrong with me. But there isn't. You're going through a physical heartbreak, okay? And it's going to go like an emotional roller coaster. One day you're not going to be able to get out of bed and you're going to be energyless and you're going to think there's something absolutely fundamentally wrong with you. The next day you're going to be so angry and hateful and resentful towards your ex because they have made you feel this way. And then after that, you can also just go through just feeling numb. It's a cycle. And some days you'll feel fine. So you have to go through the cycles, but you have to allow yourself to feel them. And don't be embarrassed about it. Don't be ashamed about it because you're not alone in feeling this way. The difference is men don't talk about it. You haven't got that avenue or that outlet to just offload, and it just feels very, very, very heavy. And majority of my clients are successful in their own right. And so they're very, very confused of how they can go through the most stressful experiences during their career, yet someone leaving them has left them broken. And it's because it's a different type of pain, it's a different type of stress, and it's a different type of attachment. But you do need a way to help yourself through it. And you do need an avenue where you can just sit with the pain and allow yourself to feel it and have the tools to manage it on that day, navigate yourself through it. Okay, because when you can start to do that, things will start to feel lighter. The longer you try to bury and suppress it, trust me, it's just going to come out later on. It will get to boiling point and it's going to explode, or you're going to just feel very, very cold and distant from anyone in your future. And you don't want that. I promise you, you don't. You want to be able to just get through it and see what's on the other side of it. The next thing that I see my male clients do, which is distract. And I don't mean just distracting by getting under someone to get over someone. No. That's obviously a part of it. But you distract by fixating everything onto work, fixating everything and going into the gym, constantly having plans, constantly being with your friends, constantly being on the golf course, constantly playing sports. Because the moment that you get home, goes back to that emotions side, it just feels very, very lonely. It feels you don't want to be in your head. So the more you distract yourself, the easier it becomes to just numb it out. And you just hope that if you distract yourself enough, time's going to make this go away. Unfortunately, if you keep doing that, again, you're just delaying your healing process. Okay, you're just allowing yourself that, yes, okay, time may make it a little bit easier, but it's going to really truly affect the way that you see yourself, the way that you show up in dating again, and the way that you show up in relationships. You'll become very, very cold. I'm not against you going to the gym, because going to the gym is really great for your mental health, but also to rebuild your confidence. That's 100% you need to be doing that. I'm not against you playing golf or putting all your energy into work. But if you're doing it as a distraction method, it's not a healing method. As a distraction method, it's going to be that, okay, you can be the most successful person, but you're not going to find a healthy relationship again. Muscles are going to build your confidence up, but not actually the internal worth when it comes to dating. Because what I do find is that majority of men that I work with, they have this feeling of confidence and they are great and worthy when it comes to work, when it comes to being around their friends, when it comes to everything else. But the moment that relationships come into play, it all just dissipates and disappears into something else. It's really important that, yes, okay, there's a mixture of both. You have the right tools, that you don't have to distract yourself enough, that you can come home and be happy on your own, at home, in your own headspace, because that's all you're frightened of. You're frightened of your overthinking. You're frightened of your obsessing. You're frightened of the pain. So you just got to face it. And yes, okay, it does take the right tools, but going in and distracting everything, I promise you, is going to be doing more harm than good long term. Not just men do this, everybody does this, okay, is becoming a detective. The difference between men and women doing it is that we actually talk about it amongst women, and we actually probably, we're embarrassed, but we still do it, and we ask our friends to do it with us. Whereas men, you're genuinely ashamed that you are spending your time going through her social media, checking if she's online, going through her likes, going through her followers to see who the new person is. And then when you see something new, or see another man has liked her photo, you then create this scenario in your head that that's who she's dating, or she's definitely moved on, or so on and so forth. And then what happens is you go down this spiral, like a complete and utter spiral of, okay, that's who she's with. So you start comparing yourself to that person. Is he better than me, more successful than me, blah, blah, blah. But the worst thing that men do, and I find this with all my male clients, is that they then fixate on her sleeping with that other person. That hurts more for a man than it does a woman, because you're very, very protective of what's yours, or what you feel or perceive as yours naturally, onto the hierarchy of needs. Whereas with women, more emotional. And so, yes, it hurts, but it would hurt us more if we was to see you be emotionally available with that person, or tell that person that you love them. But for men, the idea and narrative that X is going to sleep with someone else causes you so many sleepless nights and so much obsessing and overthinking that you've done it yourself by literally going down this rabbit hole of being a detective. Okay, so you need to stop it. You need to have the willpower. And trust me, I know how hard it is, okay? One time I was literally down this rabbit hole of stalking my ex. I'd seen this girl previously, like his photos. And then I'd convinced myself that he was seeing this girl, convinced myself. And so from that convincing, I then, say the weekend came, and I'd seen that his friends had posted in this restaurant. I then went on her profile and seen that she'd posted in, which looked like a similar restaurant. Okay, so that's it. In my head, I put it two and two together. They're seeing each other. Oh my goodness, he's moved on already. I was not enough. Why does he not love me anymore? What did I do wrong? Blah, blah, blah. Didn't sleep the entire night. Was embarrassed to check again, because that's just embarrassing, isn't it? Like, what, you're going on this other random girl's story. Anyways, couldn't help myself. In the morning, gone on, checked her story. They're in completely different restaurants. They're not even associated. Like, what I had created in my head from a like is incredibly crazy. But that, when you're in your emotional state and not in your logical brain and not giving yourself clarity, you go down this warpath with your own self. As a man doing that, not only are you ashamed that you're doing it, because it's kind of expected from a woman, but as a man, again, because you don't speak about it to each other, you don't do it. But every single man that goes for a breakup, or every single man that's dating someone, trust me, does it. Then you've gone and created all these scenarios in your head, become this detective, created scenarios in your head, convinced yourself she's sleeping with someone else, and now you're not sleeping for days, trust me, because I've seen it. I've gone through this with my male clients. And it's one of the things that will stop you from moving forward. And we don't say moving on, we say moving forward, because the idea of moving on just feels quite overwhelming, okay? But you need to let go, and you need to process this relationship. You need to get out of this pain so that you can actually start to feel yourself again. And you need to make good habits for yourself that are not just distraction, that are genuinely healing tools that are going to get you through it. And that's how I navigate things with my clients. Over a 90-day period, we go through each of these things to get you to this place where not only have you let go, but you've actually feel good in yourself. You actually know your worth. You actually believe you're enough, and you feel confident again. And then go into the dating world knowing what you want, how you want to be treated, how you're going to show up in the dating world, and the confidence to walk away from things if they're not feeling quite right. So if you're lost in this pain and you need just a bit of accountability, a bit of support, and the actual tools that are going to get you from this place of fixation to this place of logic, so the emotional brain to your logical brain, to give yourself that clarity again, click the link in the show notes and you can book a free audit call with me, and we can start to assess and map out some first steps for you personally on how this will work.